To explain the imploding governor's campaign by Democrat Charlie Crist. That's what Charlie and the Democrats want to know, and it really is an amazing story. 6 months ago, there was a 12-point lead, Crist over Rick Scott, in a left-leaning public policy poll. 12 points. Now it's a 2-point race. Within the margin of error, Crist 43, Scott 41. What has Rick Scott done to close the gap? Absolutely nothing. Rick Scott's going ahead, for better or for worse, being Rick Scott. The problem is Charlie Crist. And all the flip-flopping is finally catching up with him. And the fact that this man is all about blind ambition and all about politics, he is not a man of principle. How else could you go from claiming to be 3 years ago a proud Reagan Republican to forsaking the GOP, becoming an independent, getting your clock cleaned twice by Marco Rubio in the race for the United States Senate, and now you reinvent yourself as a liberal Democrat? What's happened is this. The electorate's beginning to wake up. The Republicans, very cleverly, are running campaign ads against Charlie Crist with familiar figures in the Democrat Party bashing Crist from the days when he was a Republican. And they're beginning to say, my God, the Democrats even hate this guy. What does he stand for? How can I possibly vote for him? This trend is going to continue, and I predict that the Democrats are going to be scrambling around looking for a life raft because they desperately want to win the governor's race against Rick Scott. And where are they going to find that? In the person of Senator Bill Nelson. They're putting pressure on him now. They are going to put the full court press on him to jump into the race and pull their cookies out of the fire and defeat Rick Scott. And you know what? Bill Nelson is such a Democrat Party loyalist, I predict he'll do it. I don't know who will win the race, but I predict ultimately this is not going to be a Crist-Scott race. This is going to be Scott versus Nelson. Heard it here. We'll see what happens. That's what I think. What do you think? Join me for the next edition of Butthead Live right here on FM 104.5, AM 540 WFLA.